right, what's up, everybody? I'm Mason, aka Amiiglows, and I'm here with two pretty awesome people today.
Hello, hi guys. I'm Josue Ponce, and I am from AmiiboSteal.
Evilos. I'm the customizer guy that you've probably seen on Instagram and such.
Awesome. And so today we got hopefully a pretty awesome episode. We've got Evilos on, and I wouldn't say infamous, but he's very well known in the community.
Yeah, you could say infamous. That's fine.
Okay, so we have the infamous Evilos. All right, so it's going to be a more regular episode. Last week's episode was a little weird. Didn't work out quite like we'd had planned, but I hope you guys enjoyed listening to that. This week, back to normal. Josue's back. We've got some artists coming on. And so we'll kick it off with the state of our collections.
Perfect.
Because last Friday we had quite a launch of Roy, Ryu, Famicom Rob, Digby, Timmy, Tommy, Cap'n, Rover, and the Animal Crossing Series 3 Amiibo cards. So we had a lot released. Oh, plus, of course, Pokken Tournament, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
And Mega Gear and Yoshi as well.
Yeah. So state of my collection, I picked up 3 of everything Smash line,
Oof.
and I didn't touch the Animal Crossings because I don't care.
Yeah, they're kind of like all over the place now. Like they're just flooded everywhere. The Animal Crossing stuff.
Yeah, you'd literally walk in and it's everywhere. Like you won't miss it. Like, at least my state of my collection. I did pick up Roy and Ryu. Didn't get Famicom and Rob. I imported him previously, so I already had him, so I didn't want to buy him again. I did pick up Pokken Tournament, so amazing game. Other than that, that's kind of like my state of my collection. Didn't pick up Mega Gear and Yoshi. I did see him around my area, and it's awesome to see that a lot of you guys were able to pick them up, so that's awesome. But that's where my state of collection is. So what's yours, Elo?
I went to Toys R Us a couple days ago when a lot of the things came out, and I picked up a Charizard and Ganondorf. Actually, full night Target. But the funny thing about my collection is when I do customs, I just buy all these when they go on sale. I just buy a bunch of stuff and I put them in boxes. So I've been doing this since Amiibo came out. So I started selling on Amazon, doing FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon, where you send stuff into their warehouse and then they fulfill it. And so what I did is I took all the stuff that I had that I wasn't going to use and send it to Amazon to sell. So that's I pretty much cleaned out my collection as far as what I had, and I just kept a few things I was going to make customs from. So it was nice to see that Toon Link was going for $40. So I did pretty good on Toon Link and a couple of them.
All right, and before people jump to conclusions, he's not scalping. He's buying these at retail price and sending them to Amazon,
No.
so Amazon's doing the scalping.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. What I did is I've been saving my Amiibos. I had stock for 2 years it's been out now, and I just all the redundant stuff that was I'm never gonna make a custom of. I just send it into Amazon, which is cool because now I have an influx of money that I can buy more or new things that come out that I have my eye on. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get more and make more customs and paint and stuff, which is awesome.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
I forgot to mention today actually, and it's Thursday, March 24th for those of you that don't know what day we're recording. But so today Mega Man went live pre-owned on GameStop, and I managed to pick up 3 of him for some customs.
That's awesome.
Which is a great segue into the next thing I wanted to talk about. So Toys for Games has asked a bunch of customizers to give or send them a bunch of customs for giveaways, get your name out there kind of thing at PAX East. And so that's why I picked up those Mega Mans, is I'm gonna make 1 or 2 for that. And then so that's going on. So any custom artists that may be listening to this, that's make sure you talk to Toys for Games if you want to get your name out there. Basically they need it in a couple weeks. So it's a good opportunity to get your name out there, especially if you're new to the scene or whatever. That's a great way to make yourself known.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
off of that, the other reason I bought three. So I bought one that I'm going to do a red LED in because I haven't done a red LED Mega Man yet, and I want to get that done because I have a project that required me to do one. So the other thing that the reason I bought the Mega Man was for the Ryuathon charity auction. So hopefully I can get that. That'll get to me soon, and I can make a Mega Man for the Ryuathon charity auction, which we mentioned last episode. We're hopefully going to have Catherine, also known as Xanark and Sky, on here soon to talk about it. But they're going to be doing a charity auction. And I said last episode it was hosted by Amiibo Alerts. That's not confirmed one way or the other yet, I don't think. But basically, what's going on is this guy.
Right. There's a lot of things still up in the air about that.
Yeah, but there's this guy who his Twitter and I believe Instagram and like Twitch handle is Ryu Quetzalcoatl, and I might be butchering that. I have no idea, but it's at RYUQUEZACOTL. So this
is a mouthful.
Yes, but this poor guy, his house caught on fire, and in the fire he lost his father, and while he was waiting for emergency help, he got frostbite. So, and he's a speedrunner on Twitch and streams all that stuff. So basically, not just the Amiibo community, but like the gaming community in general is kind of coming together with the help of Xanark and Sky and her friend who is in England, I believe, Eswoogie, ESWOOGI. And he's the one hosting the Ryuathon. It's like a streaming thing. There's a bunch of different ways you can donate to help this guy get back on his feet. But basically, it's just the community coming together to help out a fellow gamer. It's a good cause. He's not like some weird dude. He does a lot of streaming. You know, basically this this fundraiser is to help him get back on his feet.
Right.
Which is absolutely a really cool thing to do, and I love when the community comes together to do stuff like this. I mean, I think that's what we should be doing a lot. You know, is trying to reach out when we can. You know, I know we all have our own lives and problems and things that are going on, but it's definitely cool to help people. You know, when you can. So,
Yeah.
shout out to her for sure.
So you have made an awesome Pikachu for this, for that charity auction, which I want really bad, and I'm probably going to bid on it, I'll be honest. But that thing looks awesome, and I think we'll feature that as our Custom of the Week this week, if you're cool with that, Jose.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
so...
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Why don't you tell us a bit about it? Like, how you made that one, what the inspiration was, all that.
Okay, so, like, I've done a ton of Pikachus, yes, and I've done all kinds of different color commons, and what I decided to do was kind of go with like a silver kind of base and then put like a translucent cobalt over it, which I've never done. I mean, I've done the sapphire ones, which are more black spectral flame bases. This one actually is silver base with translucent cobalt on top. That's why it looks like solid blue. And then I kind of changed it up with doing like silver eyes, and I did basically like one of the cosmic Pikachu. So that's pretty much the inspiration from that. Just something I've done before, and just something that I like doing. Yeah, thank you.
Cool. So
that looks great. Yeah, no, it looks amazing.
Yeah. So the thing I was noticing is like towards the feet, there's like almost like a cloud-looking thing.
Right.
Like, so were you trying to go for like a sky theme where it's like a little lighter blue than like the sapphire ones with like clouds at the bottom, or is it?
Right. Exactly. It's kind of cosmic clouds. If you've ever seen like Hubble's deep field photographs. It's kind of like the nebula kind of thing. It kind of looks like a cloud, and I kind of want to give it that kind of like misty kind of feel to the base and everything. And so that's pretty much why. And that's actually 3 different layers of a stencil that is stacked on top of each other, but kind of moved a little bit to the side, so it gives it that 3D look, which is one of the techniques that I've learned over the years.
That's
just to make things like kind of pop.
Looks amazing, Ron. Yeah, looking for the work, like it really, I love it. Like especially seeing like older like kind of like Amiibos that you've made. Like it's really cool because they have that feel where it's like it's very cosmic, but it's so different. Like it looks great, and wow, I can imagine what it would look like seeing it in person. Because something that we were talking about with Ganda, it's how people sometimes don't appreciate exactly how it looks from a picture, but when you look at it from like in front as a person. Wow, I could only imagine.
Right, absolutely, definitely. It's another thing.
Uh-oh. You cut out for a second.
We got a delay. I stopped talking.
So good point is like, having the amiibo or the custom in front of you, they look, I think, way better in person than they do, in photographs 99% of the time. Prime example is I did my first
Right.
Disney Infinity Infiniglow. I don't know what you want to call it. A guy on Instagram contacted me. Was like, he sent me that Hulkbuster Iron Man, and I posted pictures of it on the Disney Infinity subreddit, and knowing full well that Reddit's, a lot of the time full of trolls and people that just want to, bust your balls. Not everybody, but a lot of people are. I got some fairly positive feedback, and then one guy was like, when the light's on, looks great. Lights off, looks dirty. And I was like, thanks, dude. And I was like, it actually,
What a jerk.
and I commented and told the guy, it looks cleaner in person. And a lot of times, photos don't give customs justice.
Right. And you're a saint too, because I don't even want to that anymore. Because you know as an artist it looks like, and of course maybe someone might think it looks a little dirty or whatever, but I've stopped explaining myself when it comes to stuff like that.
I'm not going to be doing a lot of those. It's basically only when somebody commissions me. I guess now's a good time to talk about what we've been playing this week. Josue, you want to go first?
Yes. Okay. So perfect. So last week I was not able to make the episode because I was on a trip and I got back on Sunday. So while everything was going on, while Ryu, like all the Smash Brothers and Animal Crossing Amiibo, including with the Amiibo cards and Pokken Tournament, I did pick up Pokken, and honestly, I love this game so much. It's so different compared to like what we've seen, especially with the Pokemon games and any kind of like Wii U release titles that we've played. I think the game honestly has a lot of potential, and I love every little bit of it. I think honestly, like if you take the time and you play for it, like you'll love it and you'll enjoy it too. It looks great compared to like other games. I feel like honestly, if you would have had games like that where it would have been like Pokken, like in the launch of the Wii, I honestly would have felt like a lot more people would have gotten into buying Wii consoles, not like now that we kind of like barely people even buy it. The game, it allows you to like play against your friends, family, whatever, go online and kind of just fight as your own Pokemon. Something that I feel like we've all dreamt of. Not necessarily like just click, and that's kind of like it. Like it's actually like you're fighting. I guess my best way of thinking of Pokken Tournament being, I think of it like Street Fighter meets Pokemon. Like it's good.
It's Tekken meets Pokemon, but
there you go. Well, there you go. So that's how I think of it. Like honestly, I like it. I think my only problem with Pokken has to be, I'd love to see what more DLCs they would add into the game, as more like what more Pokemons you can unlock, and more of a use of like the Amiibo cards, because we get like Shadow Mewtwo, which is the card that you get only with the initial release copies of the game, and then you can't get it after. So I would have loved to have seen more of an Amiibo card lineup for it, especially since there's so many Pokemon, and I feel like the game itself, like it's great, especially when you're playing in multiplayer. The only problem with the multiplayer functionality, it's that a lot of people, including like I know that we've played with my cousins here, a lot of the complaint was when you're fighting in battle and where you're getting like walled, like there's no way of you even getting out of an attack, which I can totally get. You have like your field base and everything, so it's kind of like hard for you to even get out of certain attacks, and sometimes the game can be a little unfair.
So it's like Street Fighter 2 cheesers from the 90s? If anyone old enough to remember those?
I never played Street Fighter 2 when I was that young. I was born in 1991, so...
Ooh, not even born.
Oh, man, are you serious? I'm the old man here? Oh, no.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not even born.
No, like my parents... Let's see. I grew up playing, well, like, the original Nintendo, but, I was not old enough to appreciate most of the games. Like, my parents wouldn't let me touch Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter.
Wow.
The worst thing I got, well, the most violent game I had was Streets of Rage on the Sega Genesis.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. I actually, in 1985, had Nintendo block, so that tells you how old I am. I'm an OG. On my 6th birthday, 1986 to Toys R Us in Burbank and bought the Gold Zelda. That was such an amazing experience. I'll never forget that to the day I die. 6 years old, going into Toys R Us and buying Gold Zelda for Nintendo.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been around.
Wow. That's awesome.
All right, so back to Pokken. So I've got the Shadow Mewtwo card here, and there's a lot of glare on. There we go. All right, so Shadow Mewtwo card, and it's still in the wrapping just because I haven't used it yet. But so my complaint, like, I like the artwork on it.
Mhm.
I wish it was holographic.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that was a missed opportunity.
It really was. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
but also, why do we have just one card? There's no announcement for a Pokemon or Pokken. Like, honestly, I could see them just doing a Pokken card line and just doing whatever characters and maybe like certain like items. Like you buy like a booster pack of like say 5 cards and they're all amiibo cards, but they unlock like I don't know certain gear that gives you certain boosts or whatever.
Exactly.
Or like boost to certain characters, whatever. But I feel like maybe not a full Pokemon line, which is, I think, inevitably coming at some point. But, just for Pokken, we only have one card, and it really doesn't do that much.
Exactly. Like, you scan it, I mean, the couple of times that I've used it, just to try it out, you use it to scan in Shadow Mewtwo. You can get Shadow Mewtwo even after not getting the card, so you can, I guess, keep unlocking it after, I guess, playing Pokken after a while, but really what it is, like, you scan Shadow Mewtwo and he appears, like, you have to scan him every time you start the game, and then you can scan him one more time and you get, like, I guess, like, little perks, but there's not really, like, much difference of functionality, if anything. Yeah. It is a missed opportunity. It is, honestly. Going with the holographic thing, yeah. I think it would have been amazing. Like, I don't see why they didn't do it, especially if it was only for the limited run of the first copies of Pokken. I honestly would have loved to have seen it, but it really does suck that they also didn't like put much attention into that. But it does look great as a card, especially with like what we've seen with the Animal Crossing Amiibo cards. It's very different. But maybe that's the thing with
Nintendo execs. Mm-hmm. They're not collectors. They're dudes in suits that are, they're probably gamers too in a way, but they're not collectors. They don't think like collectors. So there's Nintendo definitely misses so many opportunities to really, bang it out of the park. I mean, it would have been cool to even have a special silver chase edition. 1 out of 100, 1 of 1,000, something people would be like going crazy for, or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like in general, well, that's a good topic to go on. Is Nintendo misses the mark? Like, I feel like for every like 3 things they get right, they get something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for example, Amiibo stock numbers initially like ridiculously underestimated. But then they're like, oh, Smash Brothers line is doing so well. Let's do Super Mario the Super Mario series, which didn't sell as well. And then they're like, okay, well maybe it's just because it's a line that it's no new amiibo except for Toad, and let's try Animal Crossing. And Animal Crossing I think it's done fairly well. It's hard to tell because they've supplied it so well compared to the Smash line. Mm-hmm. So, and I haven't looked at their numbers for like sales, but I can't imagine that the Animal Crossing line is selling as well as the Smash Brothers line has. And so
yeah, either that or they overpopulated it. They saturated the market, not knowing if it's gonna sell, if it's not. I'm gonna say right now, I can guarantee all the Animal Crossing will be on clearance down the road. Just so much in every store I go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they already are. Like on Amazon, like what is it? Tom Nook was going for like $4.
Mm-hmm.
It's been going down, yeah. The price has been going down, especially because they anticipated that this would sell. And that's the other thing. They missed an opportunity, especially with like Amiibo Festival. Being from like a collector standpoint, like I love Amiibo. Don't get me wrong, but don't just sell games just to sell Amiibo, because that's what they did with Pokken too. They were like, okay, how are we gonna sell more copies of this game? Let's just include an Amiibo card, and people will go crazy for it. Like, I get that, but again, missed opportunity. Unless.
Yep. Okay, sorry. So I think like okay, the if Amiibo Festival had been a a good game, like okay, imagine instead of Amiibo Festival, like the crap we got, imagine that they put out like an actual Animal Crossing game, which a lot of I don't care for Animal Crossing personally, but I know a lot of people do. If they put out and by
I
the way,
love that Animal Crossing.
Same.
all
Same.
right, so and literally the Amiibo newscast, which is now they're ending the Amiibo newscast after this last episode. It's now going to be the Nintendo newscast, but
Aw.
but they literally talked about this exact thing this past week. So without going too deep in it, but basically their point was if they launched an actual Animal Crossing game that had like the same functionality for amiibos, like you tap your amiibo in, and that villager comes to your town or whatever. Like if that had been the case, and provided maybe a little more functionality than that, then I think people would have been way more happy and
Right.
more willing to buy this line of amiibo than they have been.
Absolutely. Or if like you had one of the special characters that would like bring a like an apple seed or an orange seed or a watermelon seed, some kind of special seed that you can only get with that amiibo, that would be cool too.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think it's necessarily that Nintendo missed the mark in that releasing a game with the line of amiibo. I think their heart was in the right place, but I think they messed up by having basically a bad board game for a video game and pairing that
Yeah,
with a
exactly.
line. There wasn't enough to do in that game, from my understanding, because I haven't actually played it. I'm talking about what I've been told. But there just wasn't enough to do, and it wasn't a big enough game to warrant the amount of amiibo they put out for it.
Yeah. Hmm.
And yeah, so I don't know. I feel like we bash Animal Crossing amiibo every single episode.
Every episode. Oh, that's what you know what? Well, it's okay because I feel like honestly, like I feel like Nintendo at some point will wake up and be like, oh, okay, well, let's start seeing what else we can do with Amiibo, and hopefully they'll progress from it. My hopes, honestly, would be that the Animal Crossing amiibos that have been released don't go to waste to some extent. They make a new game, either for the NX or the flipping like Wii U, and just make a new Animal Crossing game and have great functionality for it. And then people will go crazy for it. Like everyone will be like, okay, now this makes sense.
Yeah. So so I don't know. We haven't really touched on the NX much at all. I feel like every podcast that
Oh
deals
my
with
god.
Nintendo in the slightest has talked about the NX, and so I'm kind of avoiding it on purpose. Um, but
Yeah.
and God, but the one thing I really want to talk about this week is that stupid controller.
Controller? Hmm.
Oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Do you guys really think it's that bad? I think it actually is pretty cool, just the way it looks and
I
just like the
like the
screen,
okay.
like the whole thing's a screen.
I like the design, but I'm hoping that's not like the main controller to it. Like I'm hoping that I don't know. Like honestly, like
I
see, I have big fingers. You don't get me wrong. I have big hands. Like that doesn't work for me.
well, you know what they say about big hands.
Oh, okay. Well,
Big gloves.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So anyway, like so what I hate about that thing is the shape is fine. That's not what bothers me, and it's the screen covering the whole thing doesn't bother me either. Did you guys see the mock-up that somebody did with the Zelda, like the Zelda whatever on it that looked really good? So in that sense,
Yeah,
it kind of made sense, but I feel like there's got to be buttons somewhere on it because the touchscreen buttons for smartphones, tablets,
yeah.
whatever. Playing games with those, it's not precise enough for any sort of serious gameplay. For like Candy Crush or whatever, it's fine. But when you're dealing with something like Zelda, where you need to be, or like, I mean, not necessarily even Zelda. Like, if you're playing Super Smash Brothers on that, if you're getting wailed at from the left-hand side and your hand's blocking, the screen a little bit, and you can't see where the person is, you don't know where to aim your attacks. Like,
Hmm.
I just can't see that being a realistic way to
Right.
play, unless
Well, plus you're only talking about a concept here. We don't even know for sure if this is really what's going to happen. So it's like it's funny to see everyone get worked up. You know, I would want to see people get worked up once a Nintendo announces something, not like showing a picture or something and everyone freaking loses their marbles.
Yeah. Well, so and that's the other thing is that we don't know if this stupid controller is real or not, and like 90% of the internet seems to think it's fake at this point. And if it is, that's fine. If it's not, or maybe it is like just a prototype, and
Exactly.
they're gonna make further edits to it, which is hopefully Nintendo. I guess my issue, and Bobby Paul's put it very well. He's like, leaving all this crap on the internet, all these rumors up in the air, and not responding to pretty much anything is potentially hurting the sales of this console at this point. Like, okay, granted, I'm diehard Nintendo fan, so like if they put a system out that had that crappy controller, I'd still buy it. But like, I feel like it's kind of hurting their reputation a little bit to let this, all these rumors keep going.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You just proved Nintendo's point. You don't, you're gonna buy it, so should they comment about it?
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, but I'm also just want to know, and I feel like they're doing it on purpose to spite us all.
Well, Reggie did say you won't hear about the NX until next year at E3, so I'm hoping that's either they're hoping to hold it at E3 or hopefully by April. Like
this E3 or next E3 they're gonna show it.
This E3.
This E3, because I know that they didn't want to talk about it. I know that last E3,
nice.
last E3 he did mention that the NX won't, like, they're not going to talk about it until sometime this incoming of this year, this E3 right now. So I'm hoping that by that point, everything's clear and they're just like talking about it as much as because honestly we've been waiting for a while to hear about this thing.
Yeah, and so.
Right. Well, are any guys go E3 by any chance?
I'd love to.
I would love to go, but I can't afford a trip anywhere.
Same, honestly.
Like I just.
Well, okay. I'm I'm an editor for shows, movies, so I get a free pass going again this year. So hopefully, I'll be able to take something out if they have it. But Nintendo's crazy. The lines there are nuts.
Yeah,
send us pictures. I'd love to see them.
Yes. God, I want to go to E3 so bad, at least once.
I know. It's a great experience, like, honestly.
Yeah. So, with regards to the NX, my prediction is that they are going to announce, like, show the console, launch titles, like the whole gamut at E3. They're going to show pretty much everything, with maybe a few things held back, and say it's coming out this holiday season. Would be my guess.
Hopefully, I know that I've read in a couple of places that it's supposed to be appearing sometime this year, and hopefully this would be the first region, at least talking about like the United States, that we'd be one of the first ones to see it be sold here. I'm hoping that they either, something that has always been previously mentioned, either they make a Smash Brothers game for the NX, or at least porting Smash Brothers 4 into the NX and just bring more DLC, so it's not just like, I guess like it's a master kind of game, so it'd be like they are constantly updating it and making new stuff. So it's not like we're just getting a game for the NX and that's it. Like I'd love to see another game for Smash. That's what I'd love to see for the NX.
Yeah, well, they announced that Smash is a launch title for it. They've said that much.
Right. So the thing is, what it's not like, what it has not been like super set and clear is it like another game, or is it just like a game, the same game, but with all the DLC and that's it? Like.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But so
yeah.
Long tangent from what have we been playing this week? But Chris, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing some Battlefield, or been playing some EVE Online. I don't have really much time because I have family, career, art, like just my life is nuts, so I don't get to game as much as I used to. But so yeah, I just play a little bit of Battlefront, and I play EVE Online, which is a PC game.
Yeah, very cool.
That's awesome.
So no Nintendo? You're not. Gonna...
Oh no! It's funny. I have a Wii U that's just sitting here collecting dust. And games I don't even play. Yeah, it's that bad.
Well, you know what? We're gonna have to fix that. We're gonna have to get you online and like have like an Amiibo customizers Smash tournament or something.
Yeah, we're gonna play Smash. That's what we gotta do.
Yeah, I think.
There you
Well,
go.
and I don't know if you did you listen to the Gondicrus episode?
Yes.
All right. Did you hear her going on? She's like, she didn't say it, but she was basically like, I'll kick all you guys' asses in Smash, because she trains.
Yeah.
With,
And she probably would too.
Probably. She plays
For
with like
sure, yeah.
competitive people, so. And I'm not a very good Smash player. I love playing Smash, but I'm not good at it.
Talking about Smash. Okay, so you said, remember how you said in the Amiiglo, the Jiggly Amiiglo?
Uh-huh.
This week I trained it to level 50, and that thing whips butt. Like I love that Jigglypuff Amiibo. I literally have like a nice corner and whatnot, but it's trained, it's set. Like I made sure he's all good. So again, thank you so much for it.
No problem. My pleasure. So, this week I've been playing a little bit of Pokken Tournament. I've spent maybe half an hour playing. Like I just haven't had any time. I just did the training tutorial stuff, and then I had a friend over and we played some local multiplayer, and I won 0 matches against
Ooh.
him. We played like 15, like
Wow.
and I didn't win a single one.
So what are your comments? What are your comments? Because a lot of people, especially with people who I know, they've been saying, by the point, you know how you get like people can get walled up. Like honestly, there's a point that you can't really move. Do you feel like that's true? Like, what do you feel about Pokemon? Like, what's your comments about it?
So I don't know how I feel about the wall. So the wall thing is, do you use the shield much?
I do. I do, especially
Because-
when they use that evolution thing.
Well, okay, so like the block, like, or the shield or whatever, which is the right or the R button. I've found that if I use that and then I use like my A attacks, like I can knock them out of whatever combo they're trying to get like on me while I'm up against the wall, and then I'll jump and then use like a range attack or whatever, so it'll get me like, or get them either away from me, or I'll wind up like on the other side of the map or whatever. And so like you've got to, of course, like the phase switch thing. I wish they would just stick with one or the other. Like
Yeah.
it gets kind of annoying switching back and forth because you do get stuck sometimes. But there's got to be ways to break out of that. I don't know what they are because I'm not a particularly good video gamer, but I'm sure there are ways to get out of that. But so I played a little bit of Pokken, and I've continued my Pokemon Yellow journey a little bit.
That's awesome.
I'm currently in what's the town with the fighting gym and the psychic gym? It's after Celadon. You do Lavender Town, Celadon City, and then whatever's after that. Oh, and I played a little bit of Splatoon and
Oh, good.
a couple rounds, but that's about it. So yeah, that's what I've been playing this week.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think now's a good time to get into some questions for Evilos.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
All right, so you want to start with Instagram, Twitter, or Reddit?
Let's start with Reddit. Let's just jump right in there.
All right.
Perfect.
Let's burn.
All right, so Amiibo alerts on Reddit. Don't know why they went that route, but okay. They asked, will we see more Evilos custom Amiibo in the future?
Yes.
Well, that was simple.
Okay.
Right, so, well, I want you to expand upon that. You've basically stuck with Samus and Pikachu for most of your Amiibo customs, right?
No, I did some 25th Marios. I did regular Mario. I did the new Mario.
Me too, as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Marios.
Yeah, I did a Mewtwo. I done a few different ones, but yeah, I've literally done like over 250 Pikachus, if you can believe it. Yeah,
Wow.
probably about.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, so I really want to see how the Amalgamiibo turns out. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I've been working on that. Actually, I'm gonna send you that today.
Awesome.
And hopefully, everything. The thing is, just do you wear like gloves, like those surgical gloves when you do your work?
No.
Okay, I would suggest maybe doing that with mine because it's got that gloss coat on it, and I think it would be fine if you
Okay.
handle it enough. But I don't know if fingerprints or anything, because usually my customs I usually suggest people don't handle them too often. But since you're going to be working with them, because that was one of the things that I was thinking like was going to be a hard thing for you to deal with, was handling all the pieces and putting them together and still keeping the paint and everything on there. So I mean mine's pretty tough. I'm just saying like I'm interested to see how well my stuff holds up to being handled and things.
We'll see how it turns out.
That's awesome.
But yeah. Oh, and Ryan Benno and I are working on coming up with something for a custom base that'll be 3D printed. So
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. That's cool.
Yeah, I want to. Well, we're having issues with it right now. So like right now, we're just going to be stuck with the regular base. But he's working on it. So I'm excited to see what he comes up with. So he's the master.
Good.
He's the 3D printing master. So next question: what brand/type of clay do you use for your customs? And that's from Nintendo 2.
This is a funny question because I don't use clay. I don't use any clay. I just paint the figure. That's one of the things that I pride myself about is I don't add anything to the figures. I paint the existing figure how it is, and I've always loved doing that. And I know sometimes I'll get some flack from that, like why don't you do this or that? It's just not my style. I like to take an existing figure, like to use the existing mold, and I just repaint them, and I just do it how I like it, and that's what I do.
Oh, that's awesome. Sorry, so can I budge in for one quick question?
Yeah.
So your cousin's amazing. So I love him. How long do they usually take for you to make one? So to give you an idea, like the Crimson Mewtwo, how long did that one take to do?
The Crimson Mewtwo probably like a couple hours, but what I did is like layers on that, and that takes sometimes it takes a little. The time is usually the airbrush paint to cure.
Mm-hmm.
And that usually takes the longest thing. So, I mean, honestly, I can do a custom in like 30 minutes, or I can do a custom in like 5 days. It just depends on, my time and everything. So.
Cool. And if people haven't listened to the Geek Gurus or the Geekcast where Evilos went on that podcast, he talks pretty in depth about his process and how long it takes him and all that. So that's definitely worth going to check out. I figure I was kind of trying to avoid some of the questions that they asked you since you've already answered them before. But yeah, so you do things in like large batches a lot of the time, don't you?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's different. Like I can't do things in large batches because of the nature of the work I do. So it's really I wish I could do large batches. It just doesn't work.
It's just one of those things where I kind of fell into. I've always been kind of when I did customs. People would want, 10 of them at a time. Not one person, but, there'd be multiple people that would want them. So I kind of developed this, like, factory-style way of producing them, and so far, that's what I've done. I do the one-off things every once in a while, but, I really like doing the factory production-style things.
Cool. So, let's see. What is from Pixziz? It's P-I-C-Z-I-Z on Reddit. What is most well-detailed amiibo in your opinion? So I'm guessing they mean like out of the box.
So they probably mean one of the most. I would say Ganondorf is probably one of the most detailed amiibos that I've seen in my hand that I've held.
Have you seen Roy?
No, I haven't seen Roy in person.
Roy looks really, really good.
Amazing.
I think Roy, Robin, or Ganondorf are probably the most well-detailed amiibos that I've seen personally.
Yeah.
Like we talked about it last episode, the tome that Robin's holding is just like, I mean, there's text in it, there's like symbols and stuff. Obviously you can't read it because it's like a made-up language, but it looks really good.
Right.
But yeah, so Ganondorf is another really good one. But
yeah.
I think I know the answer to this already, but do you do Lego Dimensions customs?
I have not. I've seen them in Toys R Us, but there's nothing that I've seen that I would want to do to them. Legos are kind of a funny creature. They're really small. They're hard to work with. They don't lend themselves to customs too much, and I just haven't had inspiration with them.
Yeah. Oh, and that was from FNAF Tendo. Um,
Thanks for the question.
yeah.
We have one question on Twitter, and I'm not sure too much if you want to go really into this one, because I know a lot of people have asked you about this one. So they're going and asking about what happened with the Toys R Us thing with Metal Mario. So I'm thinking they're talking about the deal that you have with Toys R Us.
Okay, the short answer to that is
Seriously,
Nintendo backed out at the last minute, and
There you-
everything was sent back to me.
There you go. You guys heard it here.
Well, and
but-
and somebody asked that on Reddit as well just now, and they asked what happened with the Toys R Us deal. So, yeah, you were gonna do Metal Mario for Toys R Us, right?
I was actually going to do 3 customs for Toys R Us. I was going to do Hero Suit Samus, Cosmic Mario, and Metal Mario, in which everything was shipped to their warehouse. That's why it was in the system, and that's why everything got leaked on Reddit. Is someone like an employee basically took a photo of the inventory system in the warehouse, and that's where this all came out. And basically what happened is at the last minute, Nintendo said, forget it. Actually, the weekend that they were supposed to go online. See, there's a lot of misconception that thought that I was going to sell these in the stores, but they were going to be sold online, like one of a kind. They're going to be sold online, and then we were going to ramp up and do like limited edition of 10, 20 down the road, and actually open it up for other artists to come and do stuff. Nintendo destroyed all that.
Yeah, that it's interesting to me that like Nintendo was willing to work with I mean you're way more into the custom scene, like you've been doing this for years versus like myself, I just started like a year ago, you know. But it kind of surprises me that Nintendo is willing to work with like a custom artist that, you know, is just like, I'd say you're part of the community, you know, you're not some, well, you are a professional artist, but I was going to say, you know, you don't work for Nintendo. So.
Sure, that term's a loose term. Right. So what happened was it was Toys R Us and Nintendo that were doing the deals as far as the details. I was just working with Toys R Us, and so I didn't have any input with Nintendo. It was like I was like a third party kind of vendor.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
So you never talked directly with Nintendo about it, really?
No, it was just me and my Toys R Us contact, which we actually, you know, we reached out to Disney Infinity, we reached out to Skylanders. Skylanders were the ones that were like said no like right off the bat, and Disney Infinity, they kind of were kind of lukewarm idea, and it was Marvel that shut it down because I was going to do a Red Hulk for Toys R Us, but they kind of just said no, we're not going to do it.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and this is the last question from Reddit, but it's got a lot of comments on it, and it's got -3 points on it.
Oh my god.
So I'm just gonna read them all to you, and then you.
Oh,
can
nice.
So,
Okay.
Cooliotron asked, as a customizer of Amiibos, does it annoy you when you see someone claiming they have made a custom when they simply, or even not so simply, repainted the figure? Then somebody, SP Narwhal, responded and said, painting a figure is customizing. I think a better question would be if he's annoyed when people just place a different figurine on the base and call it a custom. Then Cooliotron replied and said, if you get a car painted, it's a new paint job, not a new custom car. And then SP Narwhal responded, ever hear of a custom paint job? You get a car painted something other than a stock color, it's custom. What are you talking about? And Cooliotron said, a custom paint job is different from a custom car, much like a custom repaint is different from a custom figure. Therefore, you would use repaint for a paint job and custom figure. That's what I'm talking about. And SP Narwhal then ended it with, it's still a custom, even if it's just a palette swap.
Oh my god.
And
yeah. So that's a sick Reddit fail cascade. Basically, art is art. You know, like if you repaint something, it's a custom. You know, art's very subjective, and basically, you know, everyone has their opinion about art. You know, is it a custom? Is it not? I don't know. Yes, no. Art is art.
Exactly. I don't think you can like define what art is. Like what art? Yeah, exactly. I think honestly, what you're doing is amazing, and it's custom. At least for our opinion, it's custom.
Yeah, I totally
Right,
agree.
and I think
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's the thing is what I've noticed with Reddit is there's members there that if you don't like resculpt it, if you don't hand paint it, if you don't slave at it and spend like 40 hours on just doing the hand, then it's not artwork. And so I think a lot of the people see some of the factory things that I do, and I think they kind of get turned off by it, and they're like, "Oh, just doing a repaint." But to me, it's a custom. I'm taking a figure and I'm repainting it, and that's pretty much it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, so I would love to do an art swap with you of some sort. So like, if you decide you want a particular Amiiglo, let me know, and I'll take literally anything you make because they're all amazing. So, shameless,
Yeah, cool,
shameless
thanks.
plug
Yeah,
here.
we'll definitely work something out for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I was thinking of like ever since I saw you, I'm really impressed by the glowing things, and I think the Mega Man is the first thing I saw you do, and I was like, oh man, I gotta get one of these, but I haven't figured out quite exactly what I want.
Okay.
And I think like maybe when I get, because what I want to do is I have a bunch of mold making, because I used to do molds and stuff too today, and I got all this equipment. And I thought when I do like Disney Infinity, like the ghosts, like Obi-Wan Kenobi ghost, Darth Vader ghost,
Yeah.
and they'll be clear blue, so it'd be cool to like actually make those kind of light up too. So we'll talk. Lots of
Yeah,
we can
definitely.
work something out. We definitely got to collaborate in the future.
Yes, exactly. Well, I mean, in a way, we are with the Amalgamiibo, but it's not like an Amiiglows Evilos collaboration. But we can work that out later. But so we've got a couple more questions, and I love the fact that even when when your name is mentioned, just drama happens in a Reddit thread. It's
Yeah,
really
totally.
yeah. I feel like it's just because it's you.
I love it. It's so entertaining. Like if I want to be entertained, I'll just put something on Reddit and just sit back and just watch the sparks fly.
Yeah. So, all right. We got two more questions, but these are from Instagram, and I believe I'll save Bobby Paul's question for last.
Bobby.
So the first one is from Y-Rock Games. I don't know if you've worked with him at all.
Oh yeah. Actually, I help him out with he just got an airbrush, and he's kind of a younger. I don't want to say he's a kid, but he's kind of a younger guy. And I've been helping him out with what airbrush to buy, what compressor to buy, what paint to buy, and we've been going back and forth, kind of like not like a mentorship kind of thing, but I'm starting to bleed into like helping out others more than I used to.
Cool. All right. So he asked, how much does it frustrate you physically and mentally making custom Skylanders?
Very frustrating because trying to pull them, they glued those figures together very well. Out of any of the Toys of Life figures, those things are solid, man. And once you pull them apart, trying to glue them back in their laces is so frustrating. That's why I usually don't do. Not really a big Skylanders to begin with, and but they're just so difficult to work with that I just don't want to waste my time with them.
Gotcha. All right, so you had one more. He said, no, but actually, though, he's got another one. If the Skylanders franchise offered you a partnership with making customs for them, would you do it?
Say that again? You were breaking up.
Okay. If the Skylanders franchise offered you a partnership with making customs for them, would you do it?
Absolutely. I think they're cool figures. They're designed very well. I don't play the game. My son had the original game, and I thought it was fun. But like I said, it was just the difficulty of trying to pull them apart and paint them that totally just pushed me away from them. So if they approached me and they want to do something, I'd be all about it. I mean, the lighted up blue, the been great for charity, So.
Okay, cool. Josue, you have any other questions from Twitter?
Those are the questions that I got from here.
Okay, I'll give you Bobby's question now. We've got two of them. So the first one is, why are you doing podcasts and not prepping to go see Batman v Superman? So, And then the second one, is it true your defining moment as a podcast guest was your time on the Geekcast?
Oh
A little
my
advertising,
goodness.
I see.
It's a
Yeah.
little. Hey, it's perfect. It's like Superman versus Batman. It's like your podcast versus his podcast. Who's gonna win? I'm gonna see the movie next week. I'm gonna see the movie next week with my son, and I'm actually looking forward to it. I heard there's lukewarm reviews. I've actually kind of watched a lot of the reviews on YouTube. And I'm looking forward. I mean, I actually work on movies for a living, so I don't really like going to the movies too often because I'm just engulfed in it. So it's like I always go into a movie with an open. I don't go in like, oh my God, I'm gonna love this movie. Am I gonna hate this movie? Movies are like customs. They're just art. There's some a group of people's artistic kind of view on a movie, script, all this kind of stuff. So I take movies as it is. I don't even remember the last movie I saw that I was like, God, this is so horrible. I hated it. Every movie is just a piece of so.
Cool.
And I don't have a defining moment on a podcast, Bobby.
Really, I think it might be this one. It might be this one where you're complaining.
I think so too.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you're getting mad at Bobby for even asking that. No.
I feel like I'm on a handicap because like I'm on a delay. I can hear you guys. I can hear me talking like a second after you guys. So it's kind of been like this like chess match where I'm trying to figure out the perfect time to come in and say something. So it's definitely. I think we're making it work.
Yeah, no, it's been an interesting recording session, and I'll be editing out all those awkward pauses and stuff. So.
Perfect.
And so I found one question
Right.
that I don't know if you're really going to be able to answer it, but it's from Mordo or at jweaver85 on Twitter, has been following me pretty much since I started, and he asked why must he live in the UK when all the Amiibo crowd is in the States? And like I said, I don't know if that's something you really be able to answer.
Here's the thing. Okay, I can answer. I can answer pretty much any question that anyone wants to throw at me. Basically, man, if you want to live in the States, just hustle and move over here. Do what you need to do. In life, everyone wants to say they want this, they want that. I can be this. I wish I could be that. Get up off your butt and do it. That's all you gotta do. Just have that mental thing in your mind. I have this goal. I want to do it, and you're gonna achieve it, and don't stop till you achieve it. So if this person in the UK, hi by the way, just if you have a goal, you want to come to the United States, welcome. Just come, hustle and get over.
Before we close
Before Donald Trump becomes president.
Yeah, I was gonna say before we close our borders.
With the wall.
Mm-hmm.
With giant walls, yes.
Right. So if there's a tip that you can give customizers, what would it be? Especially for the newer ones, the people who are starting off, because there's a lot of people who are recently starting to get into customizing Amiibo. I don't know if you guys want to give like kind of like a little tip for people who are starting off, because both of you are amazing, especially what you guys do. So if there's a tip that you guys can give new Amiibo customizers, what would it be?
I would say that probably the number one, don't be afraid to show your work. Everyone starts from zero. Some of my early work is crap. I look back at it and go, geez, what the path that I went to from point A to point B. Don't be afraid to show your work. Like art is art. If you have a creative bug in you, just go be creative. Don't be what people are going to think, because look, there's a lot of great artists that make incredible work in the custom community, outside the custom community, and people still are hard on them. So just even if the professionals can get criticism, don't worry about it. People, have their opinions, and if you got a good support system with your friends, your family, the community, just put yourself out there. Jump in the fire. It doesn't burn that much.
And tacking on to that, I'd say my advice would be ignore Reddit comments as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And like there's going to be people that don't like your work or have criticisms of it. Like if it's constructive, take it to heart and say and go like, okay, that's something I need to work on. But don't get down on yourself. Like I've had so many I like to cite this example when I did the 8-bit Mario with the 8-bit fireball that I made. or whatever, like the first comment on that was, "It looks like a sperm," and I was like, "Thanks, Reddit."
Nice. And now you got that like image burned into your brain.
Oh no, the worst part, he didn't just say it. Within 30 seconds, he had taken my image, photoshopped it, so instead of the fireball, there was a sperm there.
Oh god.
That's a total win, dude.
I know, it was hilarious. Like I was pissed about it at first, but like it was truly very
Oh,
fun.
absolutely.
Yeah, so like I don't know how he got
Well,
it.
to kind of, I was gonna say to actually, I'm sorry to interrupt you. To add to that is like for Reddit, what you do is you hear what they're saying, their comments, but you don't listen to their comments. You know, you kind of take it as a grain of salt. You know, if there's something that you could work on, you know, always take in criticism. If it's constructive or it's just like outright harassment, take it in and kind of look at it, dissect it, because you never know. I mean, we're all about growing. I mean, I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. We're all trying to learn. We're all trying to get better in this art thing. And just take it in and see what comes out. Make something positive out of a negative. That's what I always say.
Oh, another good piece of advice is, you know, if you like see like Evilos or Game Changers or Gone to Chris, myself, like I'd say there's a group of like custom artists that are kind of like I'd say the popular, or not say popular, but like the big custom artists that pump stuff out regularly and get a lot of commissions and get a lot of business.
Yeah.
Like, and so it's not that we're necessarily better than other customizers. It's just like I guess for some reason those artists are more popular. So I'd say like Evilos, Game Changers, Gone to Chris, AK Shop, Kick Ash. You know, there's a lot of those are just a few, and there's many more that are definitely worth checking out. I'm sorry if I didn't drop your name. If you want me to do a shout out for you, I'm more than willing to just comment on the podcast or whatever. But so there's a group of customizers that are like, you know, I guess celebrities within the community in a way. And so don't be afraid to message them. Like, you know, when I started, I didn't know anybody. I just was like, I'm going to make a figure glow and I'm going to see if people like it. And it turned out, you know, people seemed to like my work. But, you know, if I talked with Gonda Chris quite a bit, you know, before like putting my stuff out there, like, and Amiibo alerts, Andrew in particular reached out to me and was like, hey, I didn't even have a Twitter account. He was like, hey, you need to join Twitter and we'll help you get started. We'll feature your work, you know, and get your foot in the door. And so like there's tons of people like Amiibo Jason and Amiibo News and Happily Candied. Like this community is awesome. And if you're wanting to get started and stuff, don't be afraid to ask. Like we're not gonna be like, no, this is a trade secret or whatever. Like
Exactly.
I'm very, very open with how I make my figures. I did a image and text guide that's on the our Amiibo customization tutorials link, and then I've also got it's like a almost 2 hour video of me making a custom Mega Man. It's not a very good video, but it shows you every step in how to make one. So, you know, don't be afraid to approach us and ask, you know, hey, I want to attempt this for myself, you know, because there's all sorts of ways to do things, and who knows, you might be the next big custom artist, you know?
Exactly. And to piggyback on what you guys were saying, I think honestly a lot of people, especially the newer people who are starting and creating like custom amiibo, a lot of them have been messaging me as well about like what do they think about like they sent me pictures of their work and stuff. I think the biggest thing it's like what you guys were saying, like putting your work out there. I think is very important, especially if you're starting off, because you can always get like great criticism, like either constructive or you can always get negative. But at the end of the day, like it's not exactly where you start, it's kind of like where you finish, and that's you progressively work to get where you're at. And something that I can say about all the customizers that we've met so far, it's how you would see their first custom and then you kind of like see how they've expanded onto what they do now, which is crazy because exactly like you start growing and you start getting ideas and then people start loving your work. It's just a matter of you continuously progressing and doing more of it. As the better that you do it, especially with Amiibo, like Nintendo, you can clearly see that Nintendo started off making like like the Mario Amiibo, like the normal Super Smash Bros. Amiibo, and you can see like let's say like Roy, like you can see the amount of detail and the amount of like creativity they put into making their figures. Same thing with custom Amiibo. I don't make any, but I believe that honestly, like exactly what you guys were saying. The way you start off, like you might think your work is crap, but if you start looking at your work now, it's a whole lot better, just because of how you've done it and how like you get really better at doing it.
Yeah, and practice, man. It's just,
Exactly.
I ruined 5 Marios before I got my first one to glow properly, without having any glue marks or anything. Like they're still sitting over there. I have one where his arm is just split open, like because I tried to shove the wire through and it cracked and it just went, and so like I have my graveyard of Marios over there. Everybody has blunders and like makes mistakes with their customization, and like I'm sure Evilos
Absolutely
has messed some customs up here and there. But I guess the beauty with paint is you can always paint over it.
Oh, absolutely. Failure is your best friend. You don't understand how many things have been like amazing, the outcome from just failing. So definitely embrace failure. Failure is your friend, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So I posted a thing on Reddit a couple days ago because I just wanted to see how the community was feeling. And Reddit's not a prime example. But,
yeah, go to Reddit where they're gonna throw you in the fire.
Yeah, but I asked them what is the future of Amiibo, and that was the title, and it only has 9 upvotes, but it has 35 comments, so that's pretty good.
Question.
Yeah, so I said with the supply of Amiibo finally reaching acceptable levels, the hype for Amiibo really seems to have died down quite a bit. The Super Smash Bros. Line is also coming to an end soon, which is arguably the most successful line of Amiibo so far. I think numbers-wise it supports that. But there was talk of expanding the Super Mario series Amiibo at one point to include Rosalina, Wario, DK, etc., but that hasn't happened. My guess is due to poor sales in the rest of that series. And there's always hope that Pokemon will receive their own Amiibo series, whether it's cards or figures. But what other Amiibo or Amiibo series do you want to see? Are there any particular poses you want the characters to be in? Do you want there to be a differently shaped base? Do you think Nintendo will take cues from most popular customizers like Gondicris, Game Changers, AK Shop, Evilos, etc.? Maybe do either alternate paint jobs, glowing Amiibo, etc. And I know that's a lot of questions, but there are some really good responses. Chris, what do you think?
Well, to kind of digress a little bit off the subject is a long time ago I knew like the speculators, the eBay speculators was causing the market to go crazy. I mean, there was a shortage and everything. So now you're seeing an increase in stock, and what your sellers are the ones that are collecting, and the kind of the eBay people are gone, which is kind of why Amiibo is kind of in a little downward trend right now. So, but as far as like what, in any collectible, they need to be fresh. I doubt they're going to reach out to any, regular artists. I'm sure they'll reach out to, other artists that are, well known in the community, not the community, but, well known in the art world to do something. Maybe, maybe someone in Asia or something like that. They really don't like North American people for some reason. I don't know what that is, if it's something to do with like culture or whatever, but I don't know what the future of Amiibo holds. I a bunch of ideas in my mind of what would work and what would make the brand grow, but a bunch of ideas and stuff. But if you're a collector, keep collecting. The figures are amazing. The detail and everything is super. I just wish that the figures actually you were able to do more in the game like they were intended to do. So
yeah.
So if my advice is say, Nintendo, make the figures more user-friendly in the games.
Like have them do more, unlock more content, or yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So the first comment that got the most upvotes is very long, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. So he basically said don't hold your breath for alternates, for like repaints, alternate skins, things like that, and just be ready for 1-off or 3-off amiibo akin to Chibi Robo, Wolf Link, Shovel Knight, Splatoon, Yarn Yoshis, things like that. And that was from X0319. He thinks that there will be a Zelda line at some point, and a series of Pokemon amiibo cards. He was championing that argument, apparently. That's what he says. And, he thinks that is still likely to happen based on the fact that a Kirby line was already announced. And I think that makes sense. And then, let's see. Someone asked, how do we know the Amiibo Crossing line is ending on June 20th? And he said, we don't know for sure, but we believe that's the final wave of cards plus the last 2 figures announced. And that makes sense. There's already 400 cards, or there will be when the 4th series comes out, and like I don't even know how many figures they've got at this point, and they're not selling nearly as well as Smash did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
because the eBay speculators are out of the market now.
Yeah. So Mega Ditto 13 said he would like to see a Zelda amiibo line with characters like Skull Kid, Girahim, and Tetra, and then somebody corrected him and said Skull Kid, Impa, and Tetra.
I agree.
I mean, I think that would be awesome. They've got that little figure that came with the Majora's Mask 3 bundle that, a lot of people didn't get. So I think a Skull Kid amiibo and stuff like that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I would have done Zelda series before the Animal Crossing series.
Yeah. I agree, but you know what? If the game's not ready for it, what's the point of the amiibo if we've already got those amiibo and there's no new content for it to unlock? This was another really highly upvoted comment, was from Vex. It's Vehks. He said he wants more interesting functionality, which is exactly what you said, Chris. He said, take Pokken, for example. He was really disappointed with the amiibo functionality. They could have had trainable amiibo Pokken fighters that you customize, but all you get are basically custom unlocks for the avatar. And nobody cares about the avatar. The game's about the Pokemon, but it is what it is. And it's like he said, in my opinion, boring unlocks have been a running theme with amiibo functionality, and it's getting old. And I think truer words were never spoken with regards to amiibo. So I think that's an interesting point. Is like we said already, they really need to up the content and the functionality, because at this point, I've wanted all the Smash series because I love Super Smash Brothers. That's what I grew up playing for the most part. And so having a physical representation of all that nostalgia is why I got into it. But I don't really have a reason, aside from the fact that they're amiibo and I like collecting them, to buy the Yarn Yoshis. There's not that nostalgia factor for me anymore. And so if I'm going to keep buying all these amiibo, coming from my consumer viewpoint, not my customizer viewpoint, I really need to have more content and more functionality.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Everybody is basically, pretty much all of the comments are saying, Zelda, a Legend of Zelda line is what needs to happen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, so one thing that somebody commented was from Kirby Master 777. He said he wants a Donkey Kong amiibo line with DK, Diddy, Dixie, and Cranky all on top of a banana yellow colored base. And then I asked him, banana shaped or colored, or shaped and colored, or just colored? And he goes, I originally thought just colored, but now I kind of want the base banana shaped.
Oh goodness.
That'd be hilarious, actually.
That'd be a great idea.
Do people actually like Donkey Kong?
I mean, when I grew up, Diddy Kong Racing was a thing.
Oh, wow. Good memories.
Oh, yeah. That was Nintendo 64.
Nintendo 64 was the golden era for Donkey Kong, I think. Since then, granted, I haven't played anything since Donkey Kong Country on the 64, but Yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
I like Donkey Kong. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
You sound so excited about that.
I'm not like, because I'm trying to like remember like what games did I used to play. I know that I had that one for the. I remember, was it the 64, the one, the racing one?
Yeah, Diddy Kong Racing was on 64.
I loved
Yeah,
that
that
game.
was actually pretty fun. Yeah.
I think for the Game Boy Advance I had one too. Can't remember which one it was though, but
I've heard Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is actually not bad, but I haven't picked it up. So
for the Nintendo Selects.
no, for the
Was
Wii
it?
U.
Oh, I'm not to play my Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Tropical Freeze came out for the Wii U. It was
What?
like months ago, like almost a year ago.
Phew, outdated. Super outdated I've been.
So yeah, I don't know. Oh, and there's also all the people calling for a sandbox style game. Like
Yeah,
Skylanders or Infinity, and
Hmm.
I don't know if they're gonna do that.
that makes sense.
I think that they're worried that that is going to be too similar to Skylanders and Disney Infinity, and they want Amiibo to be different. But that's just kind of what I'm thinking. What do you guys think?
It's hard.
What's hard about it?
Trying to think about it.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
So, with like the sandbox style games like Disney Infinity and Skylanders, I think Nintendo's
Okay.
just trying to keep them different, like keep Amiibo different from those other Toys to Life figures, and that's why they haven't put out like
Yeah.
I think what's hard for them is that they haven't really done like too much like, well, I'm not saying like too much like be their own, like, because we have like competition with like other Toys to Life games, but I'm saying like I don't know, like what could they do to like be different, completely
Well,
different?
what I had an idea a year ago that they should do like a Mario Party, like Amiibo Party. That's Mario Party. That every figure will unlock like a mini game, and you can use your figures as pieces and things like that. And I thought that would actually work. It's not like an open world where you can like walk around and everything, but it's kind of you'd be able to utilize every single figure.
Oh wow,
Well, so yeah, that's a really good idea. Like that's a really good idea.
yeah.
So Nintendo needs to hire Evilos to do customs, but also
Yeah, they
to
do.
Creativity, yeah, like creative ideas and stuff for the creative meetups.
Dude, Amiibo Party. Why hasn't it been made? It's so simple of a thing, a concept to even just think about. It's no brainer.
Yep.
I just think, like, again, like, I don't want to go back to the Animal Crossing thing, but honestly, like, if they didn't learn their mistake by that game and then going into Amiibo Festival, I was like, really, like, ugh, I was so disappointed. Um, but you know what? Going a little off subject, I would have loved, like, do you think we'll ever see more Star Fox Amiibo? I'm not sure. They haven't really announced it, but
I
I'd
hope
love.
so.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I know that they've talked about the R-Wing Amiibo, but
Yeah, there's a
it
lot of
looks like,
characters that could get.
yeah.
Yeah, I really hope so. What do you think, Chris?
Oh yeah, I would love, like you said, the R1 would be like a cool figure to have. It's at the end of the 64, or is it no, the Super Nintendo? The boss at the end, that's just that head. That would be such an amazing figure to have.
Well, it's like Andros is the bad guy, the
Oh
big head.
yes.
Yeah, so like in they have the 8-bit Andros from Brawl as an assist trophy. And so like, can you imagine having like that Andros head like attached to a base? Like, yeah, it would
Yeah.
have like either a P stick or something clear holding it on, but like that would be awesome. I mean, it would be
Yeah.
kind of creepy because
Or why don't they think outside the box and use a magnet, two magnets that will balance each other out? They have the technology to do that. I mean, I don't know why they don't do something like completely out of the box.
Awesome.
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Flippy Amiibo.
that's awesome. A floating Andros head like would
Mhm.
be. Oh my god, my mind is blown right now.
Amiiglow. Making an Amiiglow out of it.
Yeah, do it. The only thing is you have to like energize the magnets because you have to hold them in place. The one that's on top's going to want to just spit off, so you have to have actually something that's holding it.
I don't think I'm not tech savvy enough to be able to pull that off, but
Yeah.
But
It could be done. It could be done, but it's a little tricky.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So trying to think if we've got anything else. I think we've covered pretty much everything today.
Yeah.
Any news that's going on? So AmiiboSteal, you just posted about the Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge game.
Yes.
So can you talk about that real quick?
Yeah, Nintendo's giving kind of like an early access to the Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge game. So if you start it's a limited time offer that they have. So if you buy an Amiibo from GameStop, Amazon, or Best Buy between the 25th of March through the 27th of April, you get the early access. So it's a download code that allows you to play the game before it comes out. So again, if you buy an Amiibo, so by the time from starting tomorrow through the 27th of April, you'll be able to get that early access. Let me see what other things we've talked about, like any Amiibo releases that we have talked. Other than there are a couple things that have been released. Okay, so other than like Super Mario Luigi getting another repaint, not a repaint, another like manufacturing from the. We're getting another manufacturing for the Super Mario Luigi, not the Smash Brothers, but the Super Mario Bros. One. So
the one that's not in an awkward pose.
Exactly. So we're getting another kind of like but they're doing more manufacturing for that, and then I wasn't here on last week, but Summer Code Outfit Isabel already got her her certificate, so she should be. They're starting already on manufacturing for her, at least for pre-orders and stuff. I know that the Kirby series is already ready for. You can go pre-order right now at Best Buy. They have Waddle Dee, Kirby, King Dedede, and Meta Knight. They're all up in pre-order for at Best Buy. Other retailers haven't posted about that. There's currently placeholders on Amazon, but they haven't done that. And Mega Garden Yoshi was restocked last Sunday. So if you haven't gone to go check it out, you should go check it out. So a couple stores still have a couple, so just make sure that you go and you call beforehand, just so you don't go and not it being there. And that would be at least Amiibo-wise news. Yeah, that's what we have for this week.
Okay, awesome. Oh, so Chris, you need to do your shoutouts on like where people can find you. So
yes, go ahead.
Okay, shout out to Evilos.com. I have all my links there, all my social media, and you can follow me there on all the social media. And just want to thank you guys once again for having me on and let me answer some of the questions from the community. Shoutouts to the Amiibo community. Thank you guys for being so supportive, and even the people that are not supportive. You know, that really lights my fire and really gets me going. And I still love you guys too. So thank you.
Awesome. All right. So our ending. Josue.
I am Josue from AmiiboSteal.
And I'm Mason from Amiiglows, and this has been Touch Base Podcast Level 6.